G'day, Adam Hills here, getting a heads up with comedian, Logie Award winner, Tom Gleeson. Firstly, it's amazing how quickly we are all becoming our own lighting and sound and engineering technicians while doing these things.
Oh, yeah, I've always been trying to get the light right. I can't. That's blinds up. That's a bit too much. Blinds down slightly. Get too close. Oh, that's no good. Anyway, there are people who normally do this job, Adam, and now we know why we pay them a lot of money, because they know what they're doing.
So first question, if we hadn't gone into lockdown, what would you be doing right now?
Oh, I would have just finished an award-winning season at the Melbourne Comedy Festival and would have sold a record number of tickets. And then I'd be getting ready to do the Sydney Opera House. And there were a few other ones, the Enmore in Sydney and Wollongong and a few other gigs. I was in the middle of a tour pretty much.
Will that show, do you think, still make sense in however long it takes when we come out of all of this lockdown? Or will it kind of feel dated?
It actually still will make sense because the show's called Lighten Up, and a big part of the show was actually about getting over the bushfires and sort of getting on with life. So it was kind of about that, and I didn't realise the theme was going to become even more apt to such a point where I couldn't even do the show where I was talking about getting over the thing that was currently happening. So, I mean, a bigger issue turned up. So in some respects, the themes will stay the same, but I'm thinking the perspective will change.
Was there a little part of your comedian's brain that went, oh man, this show isn't going to hang on, I think I can still make it work?
Yeah, I might be able to win an award if I could just find a festival that still exists.
What would be your tips for people watching, trying to maintain their mental health?
Well, a big one for me is, at the end of last year, I started getting anxiety for the first time. And it's, to cut a long story short, the bushfires brought on PTSD for me because I had a traumatic experience 6 years ago and it all came back. And for me, it manifested itself in chest pains and my heart racing. And I thought I was having a heart attack. So that's how real anxiety can be. And this is for me having not had any problems for 45 years, out of nowhere. And the short answer is it's pretty obvious. I went and saw a psychologist and I'm still seeing one now. And so part of me would say to people, if you need help, go and get it. It's freely available. It's literally free. You can go and see a psychologist if you might need to. So if you do have genuine feelings of anxiety or stuff you haven't encountered before, get on top of it. I've always been uncompromising with my health of any description. So if I feel bad, I do something about it. So see someone.
Yeah, visit Mental Health Australia. They'll have all the links that you possibly need. That's really, really good advice. Thank you, Tom. And listen, how are you homeschooling? And if so, how are you coping as a comedy dad?
First of all, I've got to say my wife's doing the heavy lifting mostly. I'm like a relief teacher. I drop in every now and then. They don't know who I am or what my name is. So what are you doing here? But they're coping pretty well. I think I've got two kids. My boy's 5. He doesn't really have a concept of time. So he doesn't really understand the difference between a week or a month. So he doesn't know how long this is going to last.
Right.
He's starting to get to a point where I think he probably just thinks this is normal.
Yep.
Whereas my daughter, she is missing her friends is the main thing. But at the same time, she is used to me being away all the time. And this is the most number of days I've been home in a row for as long as we can remember. So that's a positive.
I've somehow become about 4 different comedy characters that I'm using as teachers for my kids. And at the moment they're okay with it, but I think I might have a kids sketch show based in a schoolroom after all this.
Oh, well, you're doing better than me. I think I've got 2 characters. One character is patient, the other character is angry.
Hey Tom, thanks so much for having a chat today. That's excellent advice. If you need help, visit Mental Health Australia. They'll get all your help you can.
Yeah, that's right, because things could be happening to you that have never happened before. So, keep an eye out for the signs and talk to people, and chances are you'll find someone else going through the same thing.
Look after your mental health, Australia.